Okay. Say hello, everybody that's watching this. This is not a professionally produced program here. So if you hear some dogs barking, that's my two Yorkies running around chasing a squirrel or after the Amazon driver. But anyway, I wanted to put this together. My name is Phil Long. I've met most of you probably by now, and I put this together primarily for the guys that are going to be working for me, for new officials that are going to be working the Saturday Youth League. And there's just, especially my kids that are being mentored in the legacy program. I got at least 3 kids right now that are certified officials because they passed all their tests for the MHSAA. They're still in high school. I got a 4th that I'm hoping that he's going to get registered this week, and we're going to get these people to work. They're going to work on every Saturdays in our youth league, and they're going to make $75 a game along with everybody else. They're going to be on a 4-man crew. And I wanted to just give you some idea of what, so you're not lost out there. We've got about a month to get you trained to where you feel comfortable out on the field. And that's the purpose of this. We can't cover everything in 20 minutes or a half hour here, but I can at least give you some fundamental things. And then I'm hoping you're going to get your rule books, your case books, and you can start studying on that and get a feel for it, because I know you've all watched football and everybody thinks I can do this. Well, there's a lot more to football than what you watch on television, and you'll believe that the longer you're involved with this particular avocation. But I want to talk first of all a little bit about some equipment stuff and how to use it, and the uniform and accessories. You get one shot to make a first impression. You want to always look good. You want to wear the right uniform. You want it clean, all that kind of stuff. And some of the tools that you need, the uniform and the tools. When we say tools, we're talking about things like your beanbag, your flag, and your whistle, your chain clip, your down counter that you wear on your wrist, things like that are your tools, things that you need. But we want to look good. The whistle, there's 2 different kinds of whistles that guys use: finger whistles and whistles that are on lanterns. And those things can cause you a lot of trouble if you blow them at the wrong time. And we'll talk a little bit about that, about inadvertent whistles later, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Flag mechanics, you need to know, how do you throw your flag? When do you throw your flag? Where do you throw your flag? Things like that. We need to have an understanding of that. And a beanbag mechanics, how do you use a beanbag? Why have you got it out there? When do you toss your beanbag? And things like that. It's important to know how to use the tools that you have, as well as getting the right uniform, so you look the part. That's what we want to do. We definitely want to look the part. The uniform. This is basically it, guys. The proper uniform for high school football is outlined in the MHSA Officials Guidebook, which you all had to study to pass those 3 tests, which can be found in the MHSAA.com website there. A black hat with white pinstripes. You want to get one of them. A short, for sure, a short sleeve shirt with the 2-inch stripes. We don't wear the 1-inch stripes anymore. It'll have the patch on the pocket if you buy it from Correct Call. That's where I would suggest you purchase your stuff. You want solid black pants with a white stripe down each leg. You've seen them on TV. Same ones pretty much the guys in college wear, okay? Shoes, folks, it says solid black or as close as you can. Hey, look, for our youth football league, it doesn't have to be all black. You can have a little H on the side and mostly black. You've seen them. They can be softened. You don't want to ever buy cleats because you're on a turf an awful lot, AstroTurf. But that's the stuff. I would say for this year, you guys that are working just Saturdays, I wouldn't worry too much about putting money into a long sleeve shirt right now. Get the short sleeve shirt, but I would get the there's the hats, by the way. They don't have to have an S on them. Those are from Smitty's. But the white hats for the referee, and he's the only guy that wears the white hat. The black hats for everybody else. And here's what the shirts look like. They come with that little emblem already on them when you buy them from Correct Call out of Lansing there. So they're nice. You don't have to get a heavyweight ones. That's good for what you're going to be doing here on Saturdays. As far as the pants, here's what it looks like. Nice black belt pants with stripe down the side. We all got short pants too for Saturdays because it is very hot out there in the month of September, and nobody likes to wear long pants with the regular uniform that we wear for varsity games. You want the shorts. I've been asked, do we have to get the ones with the stripe? And my answer to you is you look sharp if you got the ones with a stripe. Most of us do, but if you solid black shorts would be fine too for the Saturday youth football. Here's a couple of different shoes. You don't have to get shoes this fancy. Okay, these are the $70, $80, $100 shoes here, and you can just get mostly black, and the cloth type's fine. Whatever is comfortable for you guys that are working out there on Saturday. All right, equipment may be purchased online from Correct Call. There's their website, and you can also get this off my website. You can also get it right off the MHSAA website. You can order right over there from Mike Conlon at the Correct Call website there. I'm waiting to just let you write that down if you don't. Okay, tools of the trade. Let's talk about this just for a little bit. Every official comes into a game with a set of tools to help them officiate the game. That's right. You got your mouth, your voice. Okay, hey guys, break it up. Let's go. You got your whistle. The whistle is blown to indicate the play is dead. There are times when you won't need to blow your whistle. Okay, the penalty flag is used to indicate a foul, as we said, and you need to know, do you throw it high in the air? Do you throw it at the spot? Well, we'll talk about that when I get you guys out on the field and show you some stuff in person here. Beanbag used to mark spots of importance. Down indicator, a lot of guys will use rubber bands to put them around their wrist and put them over each finger for each down. Game cards, you can just get your little index card and write the home team and the visiting team, and you're going to want to keep track of the timeouts and possibly the fouls, but primarily the timeouts. Okay, and a chain clip. I'll talk to you when I see you out on the field too about those chain clips. I might be able to get everybody a chain clip. Every new official, that is a chain clip, without you having to buy it. So that's some of the tools that you're going to need. You're going to have. I like the penalty flag with the black ball. It's the yellow flag with the black ball on it. That's nice. It looks like a golf ball in there. Okay. I personally use a finger whistle. Most people probably use the lantern with the whistles on the lantern. There's what they look like. Like I said, for this, a lot of guys use rubber bands. For this one right here, instead of buying that, they use rubber bands. Bean bags are the kind that flops. It's funny looking beanbag, but it's doubled up. It goes down in your pants and it hangs out the front. And the state's recommending black and blue. Don't buy any white beanbags. The colors are black and blue, and from what we were told at the meeting last week, they would prefer you to have one of each, I guess. There's a lantern. There's the Fox 40 whistle. Don't ever buy a whistle with a P in it. Them old whistles, okay? And that's my favorite flag right there, by the way, if I'm getting that in there. That's the whistle I use, the finger whistle. And there's the flags that most of us use right there. So there's the tools of the trade. Got to have it. Whistle mechanics. A little bit about that whistle, and we mentioned already. There's two kinds. You got to figure out which you like the best. And I've already talked about the P whistle, yeah, and the Fox 40. That's exactly right. That's it. That's the one you want. Whatever you get, make sure it's a Fox 40. Whether it's one you put on a lantern or whether it's one. And if you don't know what a lantern is, it's obviously the thing that goes around your neck. And if it's the finger whistle, you want the Fox 40 finger whistle. And they can be a little pricey, but they make a sound. And when you blow the whistle, please blow it loud. We don't like any twerping whistles. A little bit more about that. Do not keep the whistle in your mouth. It is impossible to sound your whistle when it is not in your mouth. Only put the whistle in your mouth when you are going to sound your whistle. When you do sound your whistle, fill it full of air. New guys sort of get a little bit timid about blowing the whistle, man, and we'll get this little wimpy sounds. He's like, "Did you blow your whistle?" We sort of kid a little bit on the rookies on stuff like that. You learn when you blow the whistle, man, it's an emphatic, got it now. Don't have to blow it long, got it now. Short and loud. With more whistle mechanics. After the ball has become dead by rule, okay, that's when you can blow your whistle. You may have to blow your whistle to prevent the ball from becoming alive. We will talk about that because that's pretty much the line of scrimmage officials. Because if we have what's called a dead ball foul, that's when a false start or an encroachment by the defense. Before we even throw our flag, we blow our whistle to kill it. Okay, don't let the ball snap. And if it does, we keep blowing your whistle. We're going to kill that play. Then we pop our flag and we let the referee know it's either a false start or we got encroachment, whatever it is. But that's the guys on the line of scrimmage are really. That's one of the things. Their important jobs is to look for that. That's the dead ball foul that's probably most often called. A good rule to follow is if you do not see the ball, do not blow your whistle. Boy, you might think a guy's been tackled, and he hits the ground, his back's toward you, and you think he's got the ball, and you blow your whistle, and the ball's loose on the ground, and the other guy on the other side's going, oh my gosh, that ball's loose. That's called an inadvertent whistle. In most cases, we got to replay the down. So it's always a big fear everybody has of an inadvertent whistle, but you know what? We've all done it at some time or another. An official's whistle seldom kills the play, and when it does, it's not a good thing. Every official's fear is the inadvertent whistle. Don't fret. We have all blown an inadvertent whistle at some point during our careers, and there are rules to handle it when it does. Yes, that is true. We know exactly how to administrate that if it should happen, and we try to prevent that. Obviously, we try not to let that happen. Don't want to lose your focus. That's when it can happen. Your penalty flag mechanics. You've seen a foul. What do? Some fouls require you to throw the flag at the spot of the foul, while others do not. And by the spot of the foul, we mean the yard line of the foul. You got a holding at the 10-yard line, you try to throw your flag generally in that spot, okay? Doesn't have to be the exact spot, and you can always readjust it later. Avoid tossing the flag into a crowd of players. If it is a live ball foul, continue to officiate until the play ends. That's something you'll see out of new officials a lot. They'll throw their flag and they'll just sort of stop. No, you throw your flag and foul the play until it comes dead, okay? Once the play is over, you can go and move your flag. Chances are you didn't throw it exactly in the right spot anyway, so you can adjust that, which should always be on a yard line. You know, this is the way we do it. If we've got a flag, it's never on the 9.5 yard line. It's either on the 9-yard line or the 10-yard line. We don't put it on a half a yard line. Okay, get yourself in trouble. Beanbags. The beanbags that either the black or the blue I mentioned, are used to mark spots of significance. A spot of significance is where we may enforce a penalty from. That's the reason for marking the ball with a beanbag. We may have to come back to that spot. The state now wants us to mark all loose balls with a beanbag. It didn't used to be that way, but it is this year. Let's take the examples. The spot of a fumble, mark where the guy lost the ball. The spot where the kick ends, where did the kick in? Where did the guy pick the ball up? The spot of first touching, okay, somebody touched the ball, okay, first touching, get it marked. And all spots where the ball becomes loose. So anytime there's a loose ball, we want to beanbag the spot at which it came loose. So there's just some beanbag mechanics. You can get the idea on this. This is what's the most important thing to me tonight in doing this video. When you go out on the field, you got to know who you are. Am I a referee? Am I an umpire? Am I a head linesman? Am I a line judge? Why do you need to know who you are? Because it's going to determine what your job's going to be that night. I am suggesting to all my guys that are working on Saturday Youth League, and I'll be talking to the veterans on this. I like you to start out at the line judge position. That puts you on the line across from the head linesman. I think that's the best place to learn from, because you're on the sideline and you're looking out at the field. You're not out in the middle of the field getting run over. I'd rather have you off to the side, but we'll talk about that when I get you guys over to Swords Creek for some scrimmage stuff. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Here's our football field, and this is just a scrimmage play, okay? Here you got the offense is in blue here, and the defense is here, and the referee's about 12 to 15 yards back here, okay? We are only using, I should have said this before, we will be using 4 officials just like they use, just like we do in middle school. We'll be using 4 officials this year in our Saturday youth program, okay? And I mentioned it's $75 a game for each official for every game that you do on Saturday, okay? But anyway, that's where the referee spot is, okay? There's the ball. Guys come up to snap. That's where the referee's going to be, okay? And what's his job? Do I get this job? I can't remember. Yeah, he has the overall flow of the game. That's his positioning right there. But he's always on the passing arm of the quarterback. I got caught before. And after I've asked, what is your quarterback left-handed or right-handed? And if they tell me left-handed, I have a hard time. I used to have a hard time gluing that in my mind, and I get caught on the wrong side on the first play lots of times. But anyway, you always want to be on the referee on the passing arm of the quarterback. I shouldn't even talk about initial keys, but he's looking at before the ball snapped. He's looking at where the center is and the guard and the tackle opposite the center. Okay, he's looking through the line to the guard and center and tackle on the other side. He's going once the ball snapped, he's going to watch for holding, intentional grounding, Cut blocks or blocks below the waist, okay? He's got to watch for roughing the passer or the kicker or roughing the holder. So he's got a big job out there, but he's still going to handle all the penalty administration too. The next guy is across from him, diagonally, behind the defense. You don't have to be real close and get run over here, and you don't have to be way back over here. On Saturday youth football, I'm going to have you be back a little bit, to be honest with you, okay? And you got the R there. What's the umpire? He's going to watch for a lot of stuff too. He's spotting the ball. He's got a guy that's going to put the ball on the ground. At the end of the play, if you're a line judge or a head linesman, you're going to want to get the ball to the umpire. He's the guy that's going to put the ball on the ground. Now, here's some stuff that makes no sense for Saturday. You can forget this. These notes here have to do with varsity football. Nothing but varsity football on Friday nights. So forget that. And this one here, I've already mentioned, the umpire stays diagonal, okay? Initial keys, guard, center, guard. He's watching that. Initial keys means just before the ball snapped, what's he looking at? Well, he's looking at this area right here, okay? And he's going to watch for holding, for cut blocks, for ineligibles downfield, and legal forward passes. That's the kind of stuff that he is going to do. This thing up here, folks, is on a varsity game. There has to be 5 interior linemen with those numbering. There is no numbering system on Saturday. There's no numbering system on sub-varsity football, period. So keep that in mind. Don't worry about that. And just wipe it away. The head linesman. Here's the guy here. He's in charge of the chains. Head linesman is in charge of the chain crew. He's the guy that's going to bring the chains in, and we have to have a measurement. And when we get to Swords Creek one day this month, I'm going to show you exactly how to measure for a first down here. But he's on the line, okay? Okay, let's take a look at he's got a lot of jobs. He's got the line to gain chain, forward progress of the ball. He's got to move down the field forward as the play goes. And when the guy gets tackled, he's got to hold the spot there so the umpire knows where to put the ball. We stay off of the field, by the way. Your head linesman and your line judge, I'm going to qualify this in just a minute, but they basically stay off the field in that 2-yard block. However, in Saturday youth football, you can come in on the field before the ball snaps. Just don't come in past the wideout because the kids are smaller. If it's on your half of the field, you can stay off the field, and the other line of scrimmage official can come on some. But last year I saw guys. The one linesman was so far away from the play, it was being snapped. And these are little bitty kids. So, but anything else in whether it's a JV ball game, sub-varsity ball games, or varsity, the wing officials stay off of the field while the ball is alive. They come on the field only after the ball is dead. Okay. Notice this. The head linesman is off the field, it says here, and he's opposite the press box. That's a key thing to remember. The headline, the chains are always worked the opposite side of the press box. Therefore, the head linesman is always on the opposite side of the press box. That's where he stands, okay? That's his position. Line play at the snap on his side of the field. He's going to determine if he's got encroachment, a guy encroaching, or if there's a false start. And here it is. Here's what he's watching for. Encroachments. These are dead ball fouls. False start, another dead ball foul. Illegal motion, which is a live ball foul. Don't you dare blow your whistle if that guy is going in motion and the ball is snapped. If he's going toward the line, you throw your flag and let the play go through. These you kill. Illegal motions go through. Okay. Illegal formations. That's when you got more than you got 5 in the backfield. 5 in the backfield is an illegal formation. You don't kill that either. You let that go through. You let that play go through. We'll talk more about this later. Your dead ball fouls you kill before the snap is encroachment and false starts. Illegal motion is a live ball. A live ball foul means you throw your flag but don't blow your whistle. That's what that means. You let it go until the play is over. The head linesman also is involved with determining forward and backward passes, holding, and block. Everybody's watches for blocks below the waist. But you'll see that in every one of our things here. So that's it. I got 3 so far. I got 4 coming now. Here's the line judge. The line judge is always on the press box side. You're right underneath the press box. There you are right there. Here you are. So here's your buddy over here, your head linesman. You guys are a team here. These guys are sort of a team out here, but all 4 of you are a team. Okay, you're working together. But this is the guy that's straight across from you. You guys got the false starts and the encroachments. You guys got the illegal motions. The guy going forward at the snap, okay? You got stuff like that. Let me tell you right now, when you're here and you got a guy running toward you, don't you ever run down your sideline here and try to get in front of him. You stay back, let him pass you, and you trail him. There's not on this diagram here, but there's a 2-yard belt all the way around this field, and that's your belt, okay? That's where you stay in, okay? You don't get out on the field for the most part. Saturday, I said, yeah, maybe a little bit on Saturdays, okay? But that's it, man. You got to, the line judge, here he is again. Forward progress of the ball. And let me back that up, by the way. If you're running down the field and the ball comes dead right here, you know what you do? You step right out there and put your foot down on the ground so the umpire knows where he's at. And then the umpire, okay, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. Let's go this way. Make it right. You're going down the field this way, and let's say he comes to the 30-yard line. He gets tackled right here. You stayed off the field. You're whipping down through there, and then you cut right in when the ball comes dead, and you hold that. You might even don't leave your spot until that ball's on the ground, by the way. Hold that spot. Okay, let somebody else chase the ball down. If it's right there and you can throw it to him, don't you lose the spot until that umpire gets up there and puts that ball on the ground. But that's what we mean by get forward progress. You got to determine that, okay? Same thing with this guy over here. He's down there too. If the play comes dead over here, you're the primary guy that's going to mark it. This guy down here, run down there and just line up with you so he looks good. Good choreographed move there. Okay, where am I at here? Line judge, I thought I went through that already. I did, didn't I? Yep. Going to all officials. Some things fall under the responsibility of all the officials. Counting players. There's 11 and 11, folks. 11 offense, 11 defense. Okay? Knowing the number of the down. Man, I got in trouble more than once on a crew that sort of goes to sleep. And you got to announce after every play, announce what the next coming play is. We got this either rubber band or a counter on our wrist that we can keep a count of them. Everybody has this. That's why I say that we are a crew out there. We're a team. The officiating team, everybody's got to remember this. Don't lose down. We had a play last year in a varsity game in the Saginaw Valley where they give a team a 5th down. You can't do that. Oh, my gosh. You got to know the number of the down. Know the status of the ball. Do we have a live ball? Should the clock be running or should it be dead? Yeah, should it be stopped? Yeah, see a referee and he forgets that it was an incomplete pass and he starts winding the clock. That bad judge or somebody better get on it real quick and kill it and say, no, we had an incomplete pass. Know the status of the clock. Knowing the number of the team of timeouts remaining on each team. Everybody gets 3 timeouts a half. Okay? So you write it down. That's one of the reasons you got that card in your pocket with a little pencil. So all officials got to know that stuff. Okay, we're coming to an end here. This is not going to be too long. But I just want to look at some other positioning. For scrimmage kicks, so we got 4th down and so many yards to go, whatever. Look at what happens. The head linesman's going to stay home. He's going to stay right where the ball's being snapped, right here. Umpire's pretty much in his position, maybe a little deeper. Ours over here to the kicking leg of the kicker. But we're going to let the line judge go down here and come on the field right across from the receiver. He's going to cut the line every time. It's the line judge that goes down, and we let him come on the field. Okay, like that. Don't forget, that's your position. That's what we call the pre-snap position for the scrimmage kick. Okay? Just glue this in your mind so when you get out, if you're the line judge, 4th down, you're getting your buns right back down here, right? Here's another one. The point after or a field goal. Look at who's got the pipe. He's going to help, too, on an extra point as whether or not it goes in. Umpire's going to be back here to determine whether it was high enough. But look at my linesman, my line judge and my head linesman. They're right there on the R line, okay? Excuse me, where the ball is being snapped. That's their position. So you're out there on the field, a brand new official, team scores a touchdown. If you're the line judge, where are you going to go? You're going to go on your side of the field, right to if it's to the 3-yard line, not here. This is the field goal here. You're going to they're going to snap from the 3. You're coming right down here. You're going to be right there. That's your position. Watching for false starts and encroachments, like you've been doing on all the scrimmage plays. So the whole idea on all this stuff is to just get to where everybody knows where you're going to be. Where am I going to be before when the ball is snapped? Where should I be? So, like I said, I can't say enough about the rule book, studying that out. The mechanics book, I think, especially for young guys, new guys, can be a little overwhelming. You guys that are working more than Saturday, some people are plugging in and going to have to learn a lot quick. You need to figure out where you are going to be working. If you're working on a 7-man crew, you better get on that mechanics book at the MHSA site, download that baby, and look at everything you can about your position. Most of you new guys that are rookies that are coming into a varsity crew, we got two, I think, you are going to have to, the pressure is going to be on you. And you're going to have to do as many scrimmages as you can. Scrimmage day is Thursday, the 21st of August. There's one of my Yorkies. 21st of August, and I hope everybody can check in with Joel and myself. We need you out there getting as much work as you possibly can. Paying $50 a scrimmage this year, too, by the way. I think we did that last year. But that's pretty much it right now. I can't think of it. I'll think of something else I should have said a little bit later. But I probably will send this off to all rookie officials and maybe everybody that's working Saturday. Because the other guys need to know, if I haven't mentioned it, that we're running 10-minute quarters, but we're not using varsity time on Saturdays this year, which means that we are not going to start the clock with the ready for play on change of possessions. We are going to start the clock with the snap. And other than that, and by the way, for you rookies, don't panic when you see a kid with his face painted on Saturday, because we are not using the Michigan State rule on the one swath of black under the eye. We are allowing them to paint the face whatever they want to do. So other than that, there's not too much. They try to stick pretty close to the MHSA rules on Saturdays. So any questions about this, you'll be sure to call me, and be glad to answer them. They're going to attack the prime driver right now. So have a good time to end. Wish everybody good luck, and see you out on the field.